I'm just waiting for a stack to fall over. It probably will happen. Stay tuned. I went into 2025 with 101 books on my physical TBR. And recently I actually went through my Kindle TBR and unhauled a couple of things that I know I'm not going to read, or I don't really know why I got in the first place. And that got me thinking about all the physical books I own and whether there are ones that I don't want to read anymore or I got because I was guilted into it. Of the books that I started the year with, I looked at ones that I had either read, DNF'd, or lost interest in reading and unhauled. And considering that and the books that I had read, I now have 37 books on that list, which is really good. But that's not counting the books that I hauled throughout the year and didn't manage to read. Honestly, though, the number for that isn't that bad either. Of the books hauled, there are only 38 that I didn't get to, which brings my physical TBR to a grand total of 75 books. That pretty much is what I was hoping for. I really wanted to have made a considerable dent in how many books I owned and needed to read. And I mean, I went down, a fourth of the amount. That's pretty good. But you know what? We can do better. So today I'm going through those physical books and determining whether I want to keep them or whether I have lost interest in reading them. There also might be some that I put kind of on a list for maybes, as in maybe I would try a chapter or two to determine whether it's something I do want to keep holding on to. I won't be going through these books one by one because that would take forever. But I will stop at books that I'm questioning or am feeling pretty confident about unhauling. I do have 2 books I'm automatically putting in the maybe pile because they were gifted to me as like a Secret Santa exchange or a Friendsgiving. And they're just, I don't know if I'm going to like them, so I do need to try them out. But first is What Doesn't Kill Me Makes Me Weirder and Harder to Relate to, which is a memoir, I believe. Also, it's just like the pug mask that is interesting. But then also is The Neighbor, which is like a mystery detective thriller, I think. So yeah, automatically these are going in the maybe pile. One day I will read A Little Life. I just don't know if it's going to be this year. This is going to be another book in the maybe pile. This is The Glimpses of the Moon by Edith Wharton. I got this 100% because of the cover. I thought it was beautiful. And also, if I remember correctly, I had just read Brideshead Revisited, and I'm kind of curious to be reading more fiction, or was curious to be reading more fiction set in the early 20th century. I don't know much about this except that it's following a couple who, I don't think they're in love, but they get married so that they can have all of their friends and families like treat them well as newlyweds. So I'm gonna give this a shot. Again, it'll go in the maybe pile. This is the first definite book that I'm unhauling. It's Alice Not by Blake Butler. I got this, I think, 2 Decembers ago when I first tried Book Outlet and was just honestly trying to get free shipping. But it should be everything that I enjoy. It's about like a reclusive woman and like the redemptive power of art, I think. But like every time I pick it up, I'm just not inspired to read it. And I think art should inspire you. So I'm going to be passing it along. It's not going to pick up, I don't think, but there's so much dust. Oh. This is a special edition of Blood, Bones, and Truth by Tima Ledvina. And I think the premise sounds interesting, but there are 2 problems. One, I hate this dust jacket. No offense, I just don't like it. Also, I really don't like the way that this was typeset. I'm not a fan of the font. So I don't know. I might do better just getting this on Kindle, quite honestly. The naked hardcover is fine. It's just I really don't like the dust jackets. I take that off anyway when I read. It's been on here a while. I'm gonna put it in maybe. I need to give it a couple of chapters, I think. 2 more books that I am definitely going to be getting rid of are the second and third books in the Magnus Chase series. So that's The Hammer of Thor and The Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan. I read the first Magnus Chase book many years ago and really liked it, and I actually repurchased it to read again. So I would still like to do that. But the thing is, books 2 and 3 are kind of in like poor shape, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I also just figure like if I eventually do get around to rereading the first book, I could get these from the library. So I don't see the need to hold on to them. Like, I don't know, I might end up also unhauling the first one. Yeah, you know what? I might be getting rid of it too. Why the hell do I have Watership down at the bottom of the stack? This little book at the bottom of the stack? No thank you, that's disaster waiting to happen. The Don May is not going anywhere. The only one I would say I'm like questioning is this specific edition of Golden Terrace, Volume 1 by Sung-Woo Binbai. The publisher of this, Peach Flower House, is no longer in business, and it's actually being re-released in, I think, summer 2026 by 7 Seas, so there will be 2 volumes. And I love the simplicity of this cover compared to how like, elaborate and like almost like, kind of cartoonish the 7 Seas covers are. I really enjoy them, but there's just something about this one I really like. And I got this at a local bookstore to support them. But the problem is Volume 2, you can't find it for any cheaper than like maybe $90 secondhand. And I've been hesitant to read this as a result of that. So I'm going to hold on to this for now. I might end up actually rebuying the first volume at some point when it is re-released, and it will have an entirely new translation. So that's the big thing I have to keep in mind, is that if I do read this, if I did read this edition, I would want to read the Peach Flower House Volume 2 and not the 7 Seas Volume 2 when it comes out. This edition of the Canterbury Tales I picked up used, and it looks great, but why would you crease the spine in just the one spot? That's diabolical. I'm gonna hold on to it. This is something that I consider a back burner book. It's not something that I'm going to be reading anytime soon, as in, like, realistically, I can't even see myself reading it in the next 3 years. So it can kind of go like out of sight, out of mind. I know it's there, but I don't need to see it all the time. Aha! This is one that I think I'm going to be getting rid of. It's an advanced reader's copy of Bread and Milk by Carolina Ramquist. It's sort of, if I remember correctly, an account of this author's relationship with not only food, like eating food and serving food and the love language of food, how she found like satisfaction in serving others and having those efforts recognized. And the only reason I'm tempted to hold on to this is because feeding people is definitely a love language. Like, I think it's one of my mom's love languages, and since even getting this book and becoming more aware of that concept, I've become more conscious of, like, when my mom asks if a meal is good, like, what our thoughts are on it. She's not doing it for praise. She's wanting to know if we're actually enjoying it. So that would be the only reason I'm tempted to hold on to this. Yeah, I'll keep it a little longer. It'll go in the maybe pile. read Morris by Ian Forster and loved it. And I've been interested in A Passage to India, but I don't know if I'm actually going to read it or if it is more of like a back burner book. What is this even about? British visitors, despite their strong ties to the exclusive colonial community, they are eager for a more savory taste of India. When their fates tangle with those of Cecil Fielding and his local friend Dr. Aziz at the nearby Malabar Caves, the community split wide open. Everyone's life is inexorably altered. Maybe. Just got that. Staying. Ooh, just definitely staying. What? Oh my gosh, there are footnotes. I love a book with unusual, like, typography and formatting. Oh my gosh, this is cool. I haven't looked at this book any. This is Wildlife by Amanda Leduc, and I'm definitely keeping it. It's something I'm actually hoping to look at in a reading blog maybe, but wow. I don't think, like, these aren't actual citations, I don't think. It's like in text, which I always enjoy when that happens. Oh, that's fun. Fun. The angle is constantly changing, but I'm realizing that either too much of my head is cropped out or not enough. Okay. Another book I'm going to more than likely unhaul is Morgan Is My Name. This is the first book in a trilogy by Sophie Keach, and yeah, I love Arthurian myths, and I've read some retellings that I really enjoyed, and I am interested in this one because it's focusing on Morgan Le Fay, but I worry that it's going to do the same thing that a lot of these like female-centered retellings do, which is you take a female character who is either villainized in the actual narrative or just like doesn't have a voice, and you give them a voice, you tell their story, but it's always like the same story. Like, there's certain beats you can kind of pick up on, and I don't know, I don't really enjoy it. To me, it's had its time. I don't know, I feel like this is going to be very like stereotypical, like feminist, but not in a way that's very productive, and where there's just going to be two types of men, either the ones that are like, oh, uber feminist, or the ones who are like uber misogynistic. And I don't know, I don't really find those types of stories compelling. Maybe. Moving back down because the stacks have decreased. Oh, here's one. Your Knife, My Heart. Right? Yeah. This is a like dark military romance. I still don't know why I got it. I think I was lured in because it kept popping up on a couple of like book reading platforms, and I also saw it at my local bookstore, like facing out, just staring at me. But like realistically, I'm not gonna read this. I already skimmed a couple of like the sex scenes and just got the ick. Also, it's not well made. The binding on this is just poor. There's an audience for it. I'm not that audience though. Okay, that went much quicker than I actually thought it would. I had a good little stack, and by that I mean it's a stack I'm happy with, because I'm not just getting rid of books to get rid of them. So for sure I have these 5 that I'm getting rid of. That's the Magnus Chase books, the dark romance, and then the art book. Those are definite books that I'm getting rid of, which brings us to 70. And then I've got my other stack of books that I really need to give like a chapter or so. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books on that. So I'm going to set aside these 7 books by themselves with the goal of trying them out relatively soon. And if I'm just not jiving with them, unhauling them. The Magnus Chase books aren't in the best of shape to be listing for resale, but I will put Alice Knott and Your Knife, My Heart on my Pango shop soon. Currently, at the time I'm filming this, I'm on vacation, but hopefully in mid-January, I will have these up and a couple of other new listings, and you might even see some of the books from the Maybe pile on there. This was fun. Also a bit stressful because I did nearly knock some stuff over, and I found pages that had bent, which I didn't realize had happened. But if you enjoyed this, if you liked the unhaul content, which is what I personally enjoy as well, let me know. I might actually try to do like a spring or summer clean out in the coming year where I look at my main bookshelves and see if there are any titles that I don't really want to hold on to. But yeah, good way to wrap up 2025. Great way to start 2026.